Settings.
Start video transmission. Post a tweet. We're live.
We're live.
Hi, everybody.
Obi-Wan
Hi,
plots a mission.
Hi, Mom. Mom, what are you doing up? Usually you're asleep by this hour.
Let me just come on. Come on, you stupid YouTube.
I do like that shirt, man. You've got a strong Star Wars shirt game.
Since we started this podcast, my Star Wars shirt
I need to
game
step it up.
has gotten
I've got a couple good ones, but like I need some more.
Yeah. And this one. Yep. That's good.
We got it, man.
We're
we have it now.
We have it.
I think we know what we're doing almost.
I think so. All we need to do now is throw in that one extra twist where we have somebody from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens.
I'm hearing some excess noise. What's that all about?
Oh, that's that thing or my fan, one or the other. Yeah.
Well, we're live.
We are live.
Hello to our millions and
millions of fans.
Viewers.
To the thousands of people in attendance and the millions watching worldwide.
There it is.
Let's get ready to.
We're gonna get DCM made.
We are.
I think isn't that
because it was too real. Yeah. And that was my impression of Degeneration X from WWE doing the impression of what's his name, Michael.
I don't remember his name. Degeneration X proudly brings to you it's WWE Tag Team Champions of the World. Man, Attitude Era. Did you watch?
Oh yeah,
wrestling. That was like when I watched. I was a kid though.
I loved those two, Badass Billy Gunn and
the
Road Dog Jesse James. Yeah, right. Yeah. My friend Brad and I. Brad was Road Dog Bradford K. Okay. And I was B.A. Bobby Spear because it rhymed better than with like Billy Gunn. But yeah,
I like it.
So we would go to like bars where you had like the trivia nights and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like on computers, like you had the little boxes. I don't know if you ever did them with the little boxes. So he would write BK, Road Dog BK, and I would write BA Bobby. And so that way we were always up on the screen.
Love it.
So it was awesome. So,
Love it.
All right. Enough about that for those people watching.
I think it's a Star Wars podcast.
Isn't there something about Star Wars in there?
No, man. Maybe we hit the intro music.
Maybe. So let's do this. On this episode of Bantha Milk Podcast, Obi-Wan Kenobi
does something.
Plots
he does a thing.
He plots a mission.
He plots a mission.
Let's try that again.
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
I don't know. I kind of like that.
I'll start. You say plots a mission. Here we go. On this episode of Bantha Milk Podcast, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He plots a mission.
Plots a mission. That's what he does. Spoiler alert, episode 4 coming at you right now. Intro music.
That's not it.
What? He's no good to me, Dad.
Intro music.
Monkey.
Intro music.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
McClunky.
McClunky
indeed. Hello to all. It is us, Robert and Nicholas of House.
I am Nicholas. That is Robert.
Exactly. You can tell us apart by our hair.
That's right. Our beards.
Yes. Rob clearly has the beard.
I have the beard.
The way it's supposed
and Nick
to be.
has none.
It is not. All right, but we are here for another episode. Man, I can't believe we are like 3/4 of the way through the season already for Obi-Wan.
You were able to round down the fractions.
Dude, I simplified it.
Simplified it. Very good.
It only took me like, I don't know, 3 seconds in my brain. That's pretty good.
I'm very impressed. Yeah, I'm very impressed you're able to do that.
Oh boy, that's pretty sad. But anyway, yeah, we're 3/4 of the way through.
Yes.
And we're here live again on YouTube and coming at you through your podcast for another episode of Bantha Milk Podcast.
That is correct.
How you doing, Rob?
I am wonderful. I guess my life. We have a different dog. He has 3.5 legs.
Yeah, it's not even 3-legged dog. It's a 3.5-legged dog.
Yeah, he came from the Caribbean, right outside of Puerto Rico.
Oh,
yeah.
He's
an island dog.
Perro en español.
Yes.
Sí, claro.
Yes, sí. De nada.
Claro.
And so they flew him all the way up here. They told our organization that he had his leg amputated, but they really hid the pictures of where the amputation was because it's not in a great place. It's
right
below the knee. Yeah. So he still tries to use it a lot. And of course, as soon as we showed it to the woman who's in charge of our organization, she was like, Why did they amputate it there? That's not good for him. We're probably going to have to amputate it all the way up at the hip where it belongs. So now
Poor
the
guy.
poor little guy has to go through another operation.
He's a
because
strong little
he
pup.
is a strong
He'll
little
make it
pup. So
through.
he's fun. So we got that. So that's my life.
Rock on.
You are doing wonderful now.
Oh, just Ducky. It is after our concert season, and it is time to crack a Bantha milk.
It is
Of
time. Let's
course, let's
see.
hear it.
Oh, I popped it earlier.
Oh, but that's okay. It actually kind of like it gave it a really interesting effect.
Yeah.
You didn't hear quite the fizz, but you heard the pop in the
Yeah,
back.
I was playing with it right here, and I heard it go, and I was like, "Ooh, did I?"
No.
Yeah.
You broke the seal.
I broke the seal. I
Yes,
did.
You never want to break the seal.
So I found some mop water laying around in my refrigerator. Once again, going
Like
back
it.
to the fact that I don't drink that
Yeah,
often.
Yeah.
And I ran out of the last one that we had because I took that. It's a Phillies game on Saturday.
Oh,
that
I
was
saw.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. You all were having a good time.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the good times were had by all.
Yeah, so I'm going the coffee route today.
You are.
It's one of those days, y'all. It's one of those weeks. It's one of those months. It's one of those years. Either way, sometimes when I'm sitting here having Star Wars conversation over our Bantha milk, I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. And so like I'm having some coffee, and maybe next time I'll throw a little extra Bantha milk.
You
in my
could.
coffee.
You can
That'd
make
be
it.
nice.
Was it Irish coffee?
Irish coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
I remember when we were in college when we were in pep band, because Rowan's actually getting a marching band now, but they used to have like a pep band.
Okay.
And the pep band would we would go to the football games, we would go to the hockey games.
Okay.
And we'd play like funk tunes and Earth, Wind and Fire tunes. It's pretty cool. But when we go to the hockey games, it's up in the top of the thing, and it's like really cold.
And it's cold. Yeah.
Unlike
when you go to like professional arena and your seats are warm.
Yeah,
in a real hockey rink, you're cold.
Yeah. So we would bring coffee with us in thermoses, but we'd always have like either rumplemints in it or rum chata even every now and then.
So by the third period, the songs were sounding great.
Oh yeah. And the problem too is they always started us like it's on one side or the other, and so like we would always start up on top, and below us was the opposing team's goalie.
Okay.
These poor goalies, man. We would heckle them.
Oh, that's what it's all about.
Badly.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man.
It was not nice, and it would get progressively sloppier as
the heckling.
Well.
Yeah, and by the third period, when he's back again, then I'm sure you guys were feeling good about yourselves, and the heckling was even better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that's fun.
Oh yes, but here we are. We are gonna drink this Bantha milk. We're gonna talk about spoilers for the fourth episode of Kenobi, aptly titled Episode 4.
Episode 4.
We should probably do that after a commercial break.
Sure.
So why don't we get those sweet dollars from this person?
That's right. From this organization.
Here. Yes, indeed. Buy that product, and it will do exactly what it is advertised to do.
That's weird. Why didn't I make any noise?
I don't know. You want to try it again?
Oh.
Rob is perplexed.
I am perplexed. I tried to do our world famous air horn sound.
No. There it is.
There it goes. We're back from a commercial break.
That's it right there. And you're going to be able to find that on your Audacity later by
it's going to peak like nobody's business.
That's
so
right.
That'll be perfect. Yes.
So this is your one and not your one, but your last warning.
Your
final warning. We are launching into spoiler territory.
So first off, as Nick said, we're not going to hit you with any news today or anything else. I will throw this out there real fast because they have done it and we keep neglecting. Don't forget to check out all the other shows on the Ears Up Network. Ears Up in Depth. Those guys over at Supreme Taco Resort.
Oh, I had Taco Bell today.
Taco Bell.
Thank you, Supreme Resort,
thank you,
for
Supreme
existing
Tacos,
so that I can have tacos.
That is right. The one closest to our school is closed.
What happened? Where is that one?
The one down by the bridge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They had a sign out saying now hiring late or managers or whatever. They needed them so badly that the whole store just closed.
Yeah. We have no one saying too late, y'all.
Too late.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We were looking for managers last week. Now
we got nothing. Nobody came. So So then
thank you to the Supreme Resort and all of your tacos.
And what's the other one? The Scraping that vault.
And
And so check out all those other Ears Up shows. All of them did actually plug us this week because I did listen to all of them,
On the
and
ears
they did on
uposphere.
the ears up a sphere. They did throw us a plug, so let's throw them a plug.
Thanks,
Although
guys.
once again, the Supreme Taco guys called us milk lemonade around the back bantha milk, and I don't think that's very nice of them to say that. So um, to them. So there we
Wow.
go.
You know, where I'm from, those are fighting words.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, where I'm from is not here, so
Right,
I
and
I have no recourse.
yes, and
Um,
thankfully they're not here.
well, that's lucky for
Yes,
them.
it's lucky for them that one's in Atlanta, one's in Colorado, and one's in San Diego. San
And
Diego
we're just here in the trailer
in the trailer
behind
behind the Ears Up
Ears Up
studio.
Studios.
Yeah.
So
So episode 4, short episode,
short and
very
sweet.
disappointing.
Yeah, the length was definitely disappointing. I there's a couple people I've been talking to. I know Brian, who's a buddy of ours, been on the show before. He was mentioning that it's I don't know. A couple people had different opinions on it. I thought it was really good, and I just don't want to cast judgment on it too soon because I feel like once this is all out, they need to make like a mega cut, like Godfather style edition, like
Okay.
all of these episodes without breaks,
Sure.
because I think it would make a great story.
Yes.
But right now, this is just kind of like a 30 minutes of, well, that's cool, but right, it's like
Yeah. Yeah. And
I'm wanting more out of my time if it's going to be a whole episode.
right. And also I was hoping I like the story. I like where it's going. I thought since it's going to be 6 episodes, first 3 were going to be with him and Leia, and then the last 3 were going to be trials and stuff that he was going to be going through on Tatooine.
Right.
We saw him on Tatooine for half an episode, and then they throw this Leia character, which I never heard of her before.
Once or twice.
She said something, and she's a princess of Argona. What was the planet that she says?
Estonia.
Estonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, never heard of it before.
It's a Slavic country. Don't
It
you know?
is, yeah. And it's just been him and her the whole time. Now, I don't mind this story.
Sure.
As you brought up before, and I think we all were under the impression that she knew of Obi-Wan
Right.
when we meet her in episode 4, but she didn't really know Obi-Wan.
Yeah, they're establishing a pretty deep bond.
Yeah, because
during
when you're
this.
10 years old and this many things happen between you and this guy, you're going to remember this.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be somebody that you remember. This guy saved my life multiple times when I was 10.
Right.
So they're definitely establishing that the two of them are much better friends.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten anything about Tatooine at all. Like,
what is she 10?
that she's supposed to be,
Is
because
that
it's
the age she's supposed to be?
yeah,
because it's how many years
it's
after?
10
right?
years
Yeah.
after Anakin was
Just trying to think.
dismembered.
10 is 5th grade.
Yeah, 14 is 8th grade, so 7,
So I'm just
6,
trying,
5. So around 5th
to be
grade,
fair, I'm
4th, 5th
thinking
grade.
about my 6th graders who can't remember what I told them yesterday.
True, but
So
you didn't
let's-
save their lives.
Yeah, that's true.
Your 6th graders, well, your 6th graders weren't getting shot by stormtroopers and captured by
and you
an
didn't I
inquisitor.
didn't catch them with the Force.
No, you didn't catch them with the Force.
Yeah, that's fair. That would leave an impression, probably. Pretty
Like
indelible.
I'm sure there's some things you remember from when you were in 6th grade, because
Yeah.
there were some traumatic
Every time
things.
someone saved my life when I was 10, I remember every single
when
time.
you fell down that well.
Yeah, and
and
Lassie came.
and pulled you out.
What's that,
yeah.
boy?
Except it's a girl. Lassie is actually
You're right.
girl.
I Lassie, because
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah,
an Irish thing.
lads and lassies.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
anyway.
So we start our episode, right? And of course, we have to have a back to tank scene.
Oh, well, even before that, did you notice? Because normally I skip through the intro where
I
they
don't. Oh, I don't for sure.
where they show all of the droids. Where it's
Oh,
going,
see that for the first time ever, I did skip that today.
And this is the one that I didn't skip.
Did they add?
They added 2 droids to it.
Did
They
they
added
add
the loader droid,
Oh,
and
he's
they
cool. I
added
like him.
Lola as
Okay.
well. So did you see the picture that circulated on the Book of Face? Which, by the way, check us out on Facebook at Bantha Milk
Facebook.com.
Podcast, or on our group Sacred Jedi Texts.
Facebook.com/groups/Sacred Jedi Text.
Yep, check us out there. Email us at banthamilkpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our website, banthamilkpodcast.com. You can even buy some swag
Swag,
like that
merch.
logo right behind Nick's head. You can get that on a shirt.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yep, that one over there. So check us all out. All of our episodes are there as well as on wherever you find your podcast and all that good stuff. But
I think
anyway,
we were talking about the episode before the sales pitch. Where were we?
yes. So Lola,
Yes, Lola.
there was a picture that went around of young Carrie Fisher when she was
Oh, the
maybe 10 or
bird,
12 with a
right?
bird
Yeah,
named
I did see
Lola.
that.
Yeah. So whether or not that's true, I mean, it might have come from Star Wars originally, but like Star Wars' website or
Right.
whatever. So if that is true, that's a cool homage to her.
Speaking of if that is true, I wanted to mention this earlier and I forgot. There was rumor that Obi-Wan was greenlit for a second season. Now, I was always under the impression
That this was a
that this was
limited
a
run.
limited run.
Yeah.
But again, Pagan came down and like mentioned it because she saw it online. And my initial reaction to any of this stuff is, where'd you see it?
Yeah.
Are other people saying it too? I've seen it a couple times. I don't know if it's the case. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but I have heard because of record viewership, there has been a green light for a season 2. So
Yeah.
I
So
don't know if that's true or not.
the
Another
funny thing
rumor.
is, once one
Once
theory website posts it, then
they all
everybody
do,
else is
with the
going to
exact
post
same
it.
wording.
Yes. So there is 1,000 websites that say season 2 confirmed, but don't need
Nope.
one. Season 2 confirmed. Season 2 reportedly in development. Season 2 is moving forwards. Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2 rumor said limited series may continue. So it
it's
would
possible.
be
Keep your ear to the ground
interesting.
on that. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had our new robots in
Right.
our
So they
intro that
did
I'll have
throw
to check.
Lola in there and the loader robot
I
who
like him.
yeah, he's
He's
cool.
really cool. I like the noises he makes.
Yeah, I want somebody, whether it's Obi-Wan or, I mean, not that we're going to see Luke or anything like that. Maybe like this loader robot somehow goes back to Tatooine and he gives them to Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
And they somehow put a voice chip in him and make him talk to make him a little bit more humanoid, I
That could
guess,
be cool.
whatever.
I don't know. I think the little weird, like barely changes of like low pitch. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think that's like part of the charm.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But I don't know, because I mean, he clearly like, he's supposed to be just a loader.
Yeah.
That doesn't think, but like he had that wrench behind his back.
And you saw him like gripping it and stuff. So
Yep.
he definitely has things to say. We
Yep.
just need to hear what he has to say.
Yeah. It would be maybe like, hook him up into, or, he comes to the Lars farm and, maybe there's a protocol droid there he can talk to eventually.
Right.
I mean, maybe it's going to be a long time before 3PO gets there, but either way.
Yeah.
So then
after we see
into
that, then boom, Obi-Wan's wounded.
Yeah.
You see him. They bring him. On Jabin. They're now on Jabin, which is from the comics. There's one of the Empire comics who's in that. Somebody pointed out that there was a round package in the background that they thought was Baby Yoda's. I was like, no, you're stretching there.
Yeah, it definitely seems a little.
Yeah. So then they dumped him in the back of the tank. Now this was pretty cool when they dumped him in the back of the tank because I love the editing. They kept cutting back and forth between him and Vader. Yeah.
And it was cool because like you see like, well, Ben is first of all, he's burned, but not obviously near as bad.
Yeah.
And he's also clearly in Bacta, which is healing him.
Right.
Whatever Vader is soaking in, his burns certainly haven't gotten much better.
Right. So if he's in Bacta, he must be using some kind of weak Bacta, or the
else his
burns
are so bad. Yeah. So like, but you do see the burns literally getting a little better.
Yeah. And then there's that they both start twitching like
they're sensing each other.
Yeah. So they're a diode of the Force.
Maybe they are.
Maybe they're a dyad.
Maybe they are a dyad. Wouldn't that be kind of interesting?
It would be a cool twist,
right? That these interesting. I don't know. Equal light, equal dark.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because Anakin is pure evil at this point, and he is super angry all the time.
Yeah.
Speaking of Anakin and Darth Vader, so Hayden Christensen is still getting credited as being Darth Vader in all of these episodes.
Sure.
They did throw credit at the end, voice of James Earl Jones, which is awesome. Do we need, like, it doesn't look like Hayden Christensen. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
Like, why do we need Hayden Christensen?
I'm hoping, and my guess is that like we may get a little more in the next 2 episodes, but like I don't know if they're gonna take the mask off at all, you might as well use the guy if he's interested in it.
Right. But like when he's in the back the tank, it doesn't look like him. It looks like,
Yeah, but it's cool that it is him. It's the same guy, it
yeah,
is.
I guess. I
What
don't
are they
know.
gonna do? Like hire a random dude and be
Yeah.
like, it's cool to have the original guy.
Yeah. But I mean, I get it. They just made
Why
such
do
a
they
big
why do they
deal.
bring Anthony Daniels back every time for 3PO?
Yeah. They could put any
Anyone could be in there,
skinny dude in
right?
there. Yeah. I don't know. I guess so.
Also, he's kind of like he's part like the prequel era kids are becoming adults now.
Right.
So like that's a big draw. It's like that's Anakin. He's back. Oh my god. And so like
Yeah. But to me, like, if they wouldn't have said anything like about Hayden Christensen at all, it wouldn't have mattered to me because Darth Vader wasn't Hayden Christensen.
but you're not a prequel era kid.
I'm not. I forget whoever the guy was. I don't know the guy's name.
David
offhand.
Prowse.
David Prowse.
Yeah.
Who has passed on, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So,
like,
but David,
kids who were born like after 1830, they
true.
were, they were
Yes.
they
I mean,
like Hayden Christensen.
yeah.
Just imagine, if you will, my joy if Jake Lloyd were under all that makeup. My goodness gracious.
See, like I would be happier if it was Jake Lloyd under all that
It'd be
makeup.
gnarly.
It would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like
It is interesting. Like, there's a lot of tragic stuff going on in the world with kids, and like we're getting a lot of fiction recently that involves some weird, like, violent stuff with kids. Like this episode had like, hey, we're gonna torture Leia,
yeah.
and like Stranger Things has some stuff with kids where I'm like, oh god, like,
Yeah.
this is rough.
Angela.
Is
That was from Stranger Things this week or
Oh.
this season, I should say.
See, I'm only on episode 2.
It's at the very end of episode 2.
Oh, okay.
At the roller skating rink. Are you at the
Yeah.
roller skating rink?
Yeah.
When she like,
Oh, with the yeah.
yeah.
Dude. And then like I was like, sorry for if you haven't seen Stranger Things yet, we're not gonna spoil anything.
No.
But like boyfriend dude, whatever his name, comes up and is like, what did you do? I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
are you
dude.
serious?
Yeah,
You
like-
stood there and you like didn't do anything, and now you're gonna get angry.
and they're gonna get angry at her because she's been bullied for 6
Yeah.
6 months since she's lived there, whatever.
As someone who is extensively, and that's another thing too, man, I was extensively bullied in school. So like I was watching that, like, wow, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah.
Either way.
Back
go
to
see
Star
Stranger
Wars.
Things.
Yeah, watch Stranger Things.
So we've gotten to the Bacta. They're
Back to
doing the
tank.
back and forth.
Yep. Back and forth cuts.
And
They're-
Obi-Wan's like, oh,
Yep.
I'm up now.
He's hearing his voice, and then he freaks him out. He jumps out, and he says right
Yeah,
away. He
where's
runs
Leia?
out and he goes, "Where's Leia?" Just like our good friend Finn said when he came out of the back of the tank. Where's Ray?
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. They did a lot
To
of
be
that.
fair,
where-
he came out of a Bacta bubble suit.
he did.
Technology has advanced a lot apparently.
That was a great scene. I love that scene.
People
with the
complained about that
tubes.
scene.
No,
That was another thing that salty Star Wars fans were like, that's too goofy.
but I loved it
That
because
Star
it
Wars
was
has goofy stuff.
yeah,
in it, y'all stop.
like that was great because he's like walking around back to his phone
Yep.
all over the place because
Back
he's
to
just
suit.
in this like they left him alone for 5 minutes and that's when
Yep.
he wakes up and panics. I was
Yep.
like, perfect.
There was an intern in charge of just watching his vitals, and like he like fell asleep,
Yeah.
and he
He's-
wakes up and like he's fired. I'm so fired.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
He's like, crap, I'm gonna have to leave this base now.
Yeah.
All right.
So they get to planet and they start now. There's a lot of Jedi Fallen Order
Yes.
parallels in this,
Yes.
which is awesome. In Jedi Fallen Order, you go to Nur,
Yep.
and
Which is where Fortress
which
Inquisitor
where,
is.
yeah, and Fortress Inquisitorius, which is the first time they've said it like on the TV. Which
Yeah,
is
and then they said it because you were saying it, and I think even our fact checker
Doug yeah.
said it. He wrote it in the chat the one
Yep.
day. Fortress Inquisitorius.
Sure did. Yep.
And so they actually said it in the show, which was awesome.
Yeah, and so
And it has the two towers, although they're a lot closer together.
almost like the pyramid sort of
Yeah,
thing, and it
it's
goes deep down into the water.
Deep down into the water.
And you enter. Obi-Wan enters the same exact way Cal Kestis entered, literally. Now this is 5 years after the events of the game,
Right.
which is kind of cool because like Cal, when he's going in, he swims up and he does the same thing. but he didn't have to have anyone on the inside open it for him.
Okay.
Clearly, since Cal came, they had to upgrade security.
So, and that's another thing they talked about when they were looking at the plans. They were talking about, well, I don't see a force field around it, and they said it's because nobody's dumb enough
Right.
to try and break
Except
into
for
it,
that part where
except for
someone
that part.
already did.
And then inside, jumping ahead a little bit, when the secret droids are all following, like looking, floating around.
Right.
So they're like, we don't need a force field on the outside,
But we got secret droids.
but
on
we
the
got to have
inside.
secret droids on the inside just in case
Just in
someone
case.
breaks in.
Yeah.
So
That's what they did. They put a door on the little hatch and they put secret droids. They figured
You're right.
that'll shut it up.
That's enough. That's enough. This hatch here, we're gonna put a padlock on it.
That's it.
Lock it there.
Yep.
Lock it down. Which
Didn't work so well.
Tala was able to very easily open that up.
Yep. Because they decide, all right, we're gonna go in. They found these two other people who work with her, and they're like, hey, we need your help. And they're like, no. And they're like, come on, the Empire's bad. And they're like, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah,
take a
you're
whole
right, it's
lot of
bad.
convincing, really. But it was interesting that like they're leaning into the force sensitive thing, because
Yes.
like his wife was force sensitive. They knew she was force sensitive. They
Yeah.
tried to hide it and they found her anyway.
Did you know that Ice Cube is not a big fan of General Kenobi?
Ice Cube?
Ice Cube, yeah.
Like the rapper.
The rapper.
Why-
Like
why-
today is not a good day.
Why is that?
Can you hear this?
Can you lower that?
I don't know if our friends at home can hear that or not, but
I'm sure they can. Probably had to turn their volume down.
maybe. I don't know if all that went through there or not,
did.
but okay. But yeah, so today is, why?
Why?
Because that guy was Ice Cube's son.
Grievous.
No, not Grievous.
Who?
The guy back at the base.
Oh,
The guy
it
who
does
said-
it looks like Ice Cube.
Yeah, the guy
Right,
who
that guy
said
looked like Ice Cube.
General Kenobi, like
Yeah, and that was interesting. He said General.
yeah.
That seemed like it came out of nowhere, but
Yeah.
it was cool. I mean, so when Kenobi gets out of his bath, like it was interesting that he like seemed so sprightly because she was like, "Oh no, you're not healed yet."
Yeah, so I
But,
was
like-
wondering like the timeline in between there. You're not healed yet, and then the next scene we see him just like walking around, and
Yeah.
he seems like he's healed. So
I mean, his arm was covered with his sleeve, so you couldn't really tell, but it was
Right.
a little weird.
and it was like he was like, "Where's Leia? We need to get her." But I'll stay in this back to tank for like 2 or 3 more days. Like
Yeah,
I wonder how long he was in the
Maybe.
back to tank.
I mean, maybe they dunked him back in. They
Yeah.
said, we got this.
We
Go
got
in,
this.
stay here for 2 more hours, 3 more hours.
yeah,
Then we'll
and then
check
and then,
on
and then we'll work on it. Yeah.
you. But when he got out of the bath, man, he looked
Mhm.
less like an old man and more like a Jedi.
Yes.
He had that different, almost like his old
His
tunic
old tunic
thing back
on,
on.
yeah.
He didn't have like a robe or like he wasn't as dirty, obviously.
He was nice and back to clean.
But like they showed he like still is having trouble accessing the Force. But as like this episode went on, it was like he was leveling up and remembering again.
Yeah, he definitely was doing that as he was going on. Like after, well, so he meets with the Ice Cube's son, and whatever, and
Right.
that's when they're like, "No, you can't help. We can't help you. You have to get out of here." And he's like, "I need to
But-
save Leia," and they're like,
Yeah, okay.
"No," and he's like, "She's 10. Okay, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
help her." And so that fast, they like, here's the plans. This is where you have to go. Go there. Go save her. And Tala, I think it was more Tala being like, I will help him.
Right.
That they're like, all right, well, if
If
she's gonna help him,
we
then,
got it, right?
then we're all in.
Yep. So
so
they fly
then-
in, they have her going like as her double agent capacity, and she's walking through.
And I like the T-47s. We got a couple of T-47 speeders over
Yeah.
there. I was like, oh, what's that? And then at the end of the show, you
We
see what a
see what they were,
T-47
right? I
is,
was
or
like,
the
oh,
snow
those are what
speeders.
they are,
Yeah,
right?
you're like, oh, okay.
And so I was a little concerned.
Oh, when they were flying in, he was trying to use the force on the intercom on his walkie-talkie,
Yeah.
and you could see he was like struggling with it still.
Yep.
But then as the episode went on, he was starting to get better. Even when like jumping ahead, when he was using the lightsabers
Mhm.
in that hallway.
Yep.
At the end, after he like
Warmed up.
he did do a fancy like spinny thing with his lightsaber at the very end.
And if you notice in the beginning, like when the fight starts, every bolt he's deflecting away from him and Leia, but just deflecting. That's it.
Yeah, they're going at
And
angles
then
and
as the more it happens, the
Uh-huh.
more he's the more of them he deflects and actually
Yeah.
hits them.
He was hitting them, he was hitting
The
the control
droid,
panel, the
yeah.
droid,
And so
yeah.
like at the end, he was for the most part like hitting them every time.
Yeah.
Um, until again, I don't care about jumping ahead. It's part of our thing now.
It's
When
what we do.
yeah, when the water starts to crack through the thing again, this is a parallel to Jedi Fallen Order. I'm almost positive this happened
Yeah.
in Jedi Fallen Order.
Yep.
But in Fallen Order, Vader had to hold back the water.
Okay.
In this one, again, beginning of the episode, I can't make this little thing come to me.
Yeah, I can't get this little walkie-talkie to come to me, but
End of episode,
I'm holding back a
holding back the
wall.
pressure of the entire ocean.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is ridiculous. I forget who I was reading who said this, but it was really awesome. And it was something about like Jedi are at their most powerful when they're helping people.
Okay.
And so like he spent years protecting quote unquote Luke, but he wasn't really protecting Luke. Like his lightsaber was buried in the desert.
Yeah, and he was just
moping and hiding.
yeah, just making sure nobody was coming
right.
towards Luke.
So like if someone did come towards Luke, he probably wouldn't have been able to protect him.
Right, because his lightsaber was buried in the middle of the Caspian Sea.
Yeah.
So it's like
but Luke also didn't really need protecting. He was in the middle
Mhm.
of nowhere. Leia all of a sudden needs protecting.
Right.
And he's reaccessing the Force
Yeah.
because
I
he
wrote
needs
down
to protect someone.
now that he has a purpose,
Yeah.
he's able to find the Force again.
Yep. And it's I think that purpose is like Anakin's kid. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not just because it's anyone, because we saw that it didn't have to like anyone. At the beginning, it could have been someone. He was like, no, I can't do, but like he sees Anakin and Padme.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. So he's definitely like, I need to protect her.
Yep.
And he's like, the Force is coming back to him very strong.
Yep. Now,
so
jumping back to when they get there,
right,
I was a little worried because like when she's walking into the place, she had like that, oh my gosh, I'm nervous look. And I'm like, all right, so you're a double agent.
Yes.
This is what you've done for years. So this shouldn't be so hard.
Right.
But then when like she actually turned it on, I was like, okay, that's the stuff right
there. So she's walking in and she's like, okay, is anybody going to stop me or can I just walk in?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to keep going. I have no clue where I'm going, but I'm just going to keep walking. And then when that guy stops her, she's like, first she has that look, and then he's like, you don't belong here. And she was like, call me sir.
Yeah.
Like in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, when Cameron calls the principal as Sloane's dad. Did you ever see Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Robert.
Okay. I mean, look, it was my era, not yours.
Come on, man.
Okay. So he's like,
Rooney,
call me sir. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Of course, sir.
Speaking of which, because that reminds me of when they pick him up and he's in like the trench coat and the hat.
Oh my God.
Which is essentially what Obi-Wan was in when they were walking out of this episode. It was like,
yes,
you might as well have had sunglasses on with the nose on. It was
just
like three dudes like walking.
Even
like
better,
monkeys.
like Obi-Wan looked like when four kids are trying to sneak into the movie theater to see an R-rated movie.
Nothing to see here.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie are stacked on top of each other. Yeah.
Oh man.
And then look, I get it. And the funny thing was, I don't know if you noticed, but when Tala first enters, first you see the first thing she walks past is a crate full of fuel cells.
Right.
Which is then what third
Rava
sister
uses,
throws. Yeah, Rava uses and to blow up Wade. But then also a officer walks by wearing that trench coat.
Okay.
In the very beginning, so that way you have it there. So it's like, oh, everybody has this trench coat on. Yeah. So then he has that trench coat so that he wears it at the end. But and then zooming in on Leia poking her head out. Now, first off, he looked like he was deformed.
Yep.
She could have hit it a little bit better than that. Even if she just stuck her face in his butt and walked behind him, at least they were in one line and it wouldn't look as bad. But yeah, I mean, it was bad. It was totally like three kids sneaking into an R-rated movie.
Silly.
Yeah, that was very silly. So,
but she walks in and like she turns on that mid-Atlantic accent that the Empire like has an accent. Like
Yeah.
it's
Oh
the
yeah.
Imperial accent, which is like the core worlds, which is in the Empire, basically the better people, right? It's
Right.
like they're
Yes.
humanoid
Yes.
and they're from the
They're only
core,
humans, and 90%
right?
of them are only
Yeah.
humans. Yeah.
So like she doesn't talk really with that accent, like not near as crisp or as like tight when she's not in that role. But she turned it on. They let her in.
Right.
Sorry, man, sir. Sorry. And she gets through. And she
Yeah.
chokes
She's
someone
like,
out.
I that was awesome when
Yeah.
she did that.
Yeah, man.
She's like, I'm an officer. You don't need to. I'm a
Yeah,
spy.
like there sure seemed like a lot of people talking down to her as an officer. Like that
Mm-hmm.
other dude had the same exact, like
Mm-hmm.
the second dude who talked to her had the same insignia.
Yeah.
So like if it's the same rank, like
Yeah.
dude, like
Yeah.
back
If you're a
off, bro.
sergeant, I'm a sergeant. I'm not allowed to talk down to you.
Yeah,
Um,
we're equals, bruh.
instead of being like, you shouldn't be here, he should be like,
Can I help
excuse
you?
me, can I help you?
Yeah.
Like,
Are you in the wrong place or?
this is I'm in charge of this floor and I don't recognize you. Can I help you? I don't know what rank she is.
I mean, I guess that they're.
Oh, what she said it, a colonel or something
I
like
think
that.
so.
I don't remember, whatever. But anywho, yeah. So, yeah, so she sneaks through. She goes through the metal detector, which was pretty funny. That they have this giant open bay, and then this one metal detector
Yeah,
that you have to walk through.
I don't get that. Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, like you could you could easily right off a camera. I could have just like walk over that way and
Yeah.
go through it, but whatever.
It's like, well, there was a whole debate with last episode with that laser fence that cut the guy in half. That
Okay.
like there was all this space around the side they could have just
Yeah.
walked around.
Yeah, they on either side of the hill, and
Yeah.
even like the fence stopped and then there was a hill and you could have easily gone right around the fence.
Yep.
Yeah. So, whatever. I
Yeah.
mean,
It,
look, it's a
entertainment.
story, it's
Yep.
entertainment. Exactly.
They get in. They're looking for Leia. Leia's having her chat with Rava.
She was good. So
Yeah.
Rava has some issues.
Yeah, she's definitely. Again, I'm leaning heavy into the she feels abandoned for
Yes.
66.
Well,
thing. I think that's-
she's leaning definitely. I had a droid once, and she's like angry. They're going to leave you like they
Mhm.
leave everybody.
Yep.
And she's also mad because she was probably interrogated as a child
Oh,
the way
for
she was
sure.
about to interrogate
That's what
Leah.
they do literally with all the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
They're all tortured. Yeah.
Tortured into submission or
Yep.
whatever, into thinking this way. So
Yep.
she's angry that she was tortured, rightfully so.
Mhm.
She's angry that she was a kid and she felt abandoned because nobody protected her and she had to run off and hide,
Yep.
which I understand that as well.
And she feels I had to do it, so you're gonna have to too.
Mhm.
Right. But I'm convinced that at some point we're gonna have like a come to Obi-Wan moment where like
Right, where
Obi-Wan
she-
tries to
yeah,
like get to her
where he flips her.
and then she's gonna die. Like she's not gonna make it.
No,
I don't
no,
think she's gonna make
she right before she flips, she's gonna die.
Or right
She's-
after.
Or right after.
She's gonna
yeah.
do something that saves them all.
And because the other guy, brother, fifth
One of the
brother,
brothers.
seventh brother, whatever brother.
The green guy with the hat.
Yes, he's like really angry at her.
Yeah.
So he's gonna wind up killing her at some point, or even maybe the Grand Inquisitor comes back
I can see that.
because he's
He's
well,
not dead.
he's not dead. The brother, we see him in Rebels. We never see Reva in Rebels. Reva, whatever her name
Yeah.
is.
We see the guy, the guy with the green hat.
Yeah.
The other girl with the tentacles, we don't. First of all, she's basically done nothing so far except be
Yeah.
there,
Except be there.
and we haven't seen her in anything else.
Yeah. So one of my favorite movies. Now I wouldn't
Is she
put
a
it in
red
my
shirt, you
top
think?
5.
She's just there to die.
She's just there to die. Yeah. There was the movie Dazed and Confused. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was um hey, that's what I like about these high school girls. They stay the same age. I keep getting older. They stay the
Yeah.
same. Matthew McConaughey.
Yep.
It was Matthew McConaughey's first movie. And who played Batman?
Val Kilmer,
No.
Michael Keaton, George Clooney.
Keep going. The one that nobody liked. Ben Affleck.
Oh.
Ben Affleck was in it. Whatever. It was this really fun high school, low budget Texas movie, whatever. But in it, there's this one girl she's a singer. I can't think of her name right now. It'll come back to me anyway. She's in the entire movie. She's in like every single scene. She has no lines. She finally has one line with 10 minutes left in the movie. Let's go smoke that joint. That's her only line in the whole movie, and she's in almost every single scene.
Love it.
I feel like that's what this sister
Yeah.
is that person where she's in it all the time.
Maybe the both of them are a victim of like they had a bunch of lines and like every one of those scenes
Everyone
got cut.
got cut, yeah, and I think
And
that's
she's just in the background of all the
yeah,
different
and I think
scenes.
that's what it is. I'm pretty sure this girl had a lot more lines or other scenes that got cut
Yep.
because why would you have her in it all the time and she
Yep.
only has one line
She's
in the whole
cool
movie?
looking too. Like I
Yeah,
like she's rad. Like
yeah.
she's kind of scary that one time she said stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But so pushing through this here, you know,
Yeah,
they
so I Reva has some deep dark issues.
yeah, we're gonna get more of that for sure.
Leia was really cool when I loved her line. Is this a staring game?
Yeah,
That was fun, but you could see her. She was,
struggling. Yeah,
and I'm shocked that Reva didn't pick up on
that she's force
that
sensitive.
she's force
She
sensitive.
just said you're strong.
Yeah,
So like,
because she even gave
yeah,
like this look like I'm resisting you.
yeah.
And the only way you can do that is if you
One
have the
would
force,
imagine,
or
yeah,
if you're
that-
force sensitive at all.
Although to be fair, like there's like certain creatures who are of high intelligence, and Jedi mind tricks can't work on them.
Right, like
So maybe it's the
like
same.
Anakin
You know?
slave boss guy.
That is Watto.
Watto,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm a Tudarian.
Jedi mind tricks
They
don't
don't
work
work
on me.
on them. Yeah. So yeah, maybe like people who are really smart, and maybe that's part of it though. Maybe like certain, that's like force sensitive people. Like maybe there
Yeah.
are certain races that are just inherently have some force sensitivity. Who knows?
Who knows? And then we see as Obi-Wan's wandering around aimlessly, which he comes up, the stormtrooper opens the door like, is there a mouse in here? And then he gets choked out or whatever happens. We've seen Obi-Wan put on stormtrooper armor before.
Yeah.
He could have walked through the place
Nothing
a
to see
hell
here.
of a lot
Nothing to see
easier.
here.
Yeah, wearing a stormtrooper armor. But instead, he's like, nope, I'm gonna wear this Jedi outfit,
And then he could have put that trench coat on the little girl, and she could have been a Jawa.
yeah,
Just underneath the hood and
underneath the hood,
everything.
yeah, she just would have had just put two flashlights there and
Yep.
it would have been perfect.
Well,
But
why weren't we there?
I know, right?
We could
Like,
have saved them all.
put this stormtrooper outfit on, but whatever. It makes for a
So,
better story. So then
Leia says, "No, ma'am, I will not tell you any secrets."
I'm not telling you any
Well,
secrets.
first she's like, "I'm gonna tell my dad."
Yeah, that was a good one. She's like, "Oh, we're all on the same side, so let me just tell my dad first." She's like, "Yeah, good try."
It's like when I'm walking through the halls and a kid has their phone and like, "Oh no, I was texting my mom."
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah,
No,
you
look,
were texting your mom.
look.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at Snapchat right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I was texting her
I
before
was
that.
snapping my mom.
I
That's
was
how we
snapping
talk.
my mom. We talk on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you
So
do.
yeah. She didn't believe it, so she
No.
said, "Give me your phone. I'm going to torture you."
That's right. And she
which
said,
is-
"It's my phone. You can't have
yeah,
it.
you don't pay my phone
You
bill.
don't pay my phone bill."
That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they
And
bring
then
her to the little pokey machine,
Yeah. Which
and
which we've seen before.
and Obi-Wan like is very clearly like there's some call forwards to his jaunt through the Death Star as he's like hiding, and
Yep.
then he uses that same trick.
And then he started to use he used the force a little bit better now. He
Yeah.
was able to make a noise away
Yeah.
from him.
And then he ran down.
And then he
goes,
ran down. I
Oh
found
no! Wait. That's before he saves Leia. That's when he stumbles on the
Yes.
craziness.
He finds
Bunch of dead people.
I think I found what they're hiding down here. Yeah, because it's behind a
so.
door with a red symbol
think
on it
so.
that says "Don't enter here."
Yep.
This is something special.
Yep. Yeah. So it's literally, he says it's a tomb.
Yeah.
Right. My initial thought was maybe these are it's like an ancient Sith, because I know at the supposedly underneath the Jedi temple in Coruscant there's a Sith temple. So my thought is that maybe there's like a Sith temple down there, but it's a tomb. And I thought, okay, maybe it's like a Sith tomb, and these are all formers. But like those
No.
were Jedi.
Yes.
Those were like, okay, so
yeah. So
because there is a word, there's like a saying about Fortress Inquisitorius, I guess they say in this, where it's where Jedi go to die. So like I guess this is the fruit of Order 66. Right. Like all
yeah,
it's
and
pretty grisly, man.
It was grisly. So they were in the amber, reminded me of Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Spared no expense.
Yeah. I'm like looking for mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it was interesting that they were like, obviously they looked frozen. Like you couldn't just push a button
and
they would come out.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, and it's definitely not carbonated by any chance, by any means of it. So there was about 48 cells that you could see on there, and some of the people that they focused on, There
Yeah, there was
was
a couple names for sure.
yeah, Terra Sinuba, uh, Jedi Master in the Inquisitor tomb. Oh, that was a Jedi Master. Yeah, she was a Jedi Master,
Mm-hmm.
mentor to Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
So she used like white lightsabers as well. Coleman Kajak, among the frozen Jedi, appeared to be Ongri Jedi Master Coleman Kajak, KCAJ. He was a member of the Jedi Council during Revenge of the Sith. He appears as a background character in
Oh yeah,
several
look at him. There
episodes
he
of the
is.
Clone Wars.
Yep.
Uh, Oppo Rancis, if that's him, it's in the Amber. Rancis marks another Jedi Council member snatched up by the Empire. This this Thispasnian is easily recognizable by his long beard. He first appeared in the Phantom Menace, and therefore his background character in the Clone Wars. And so those were the ones that this one site found.
Okay.
Another one, the guy said Pablo Gil or Coleman Kazash. So the first one could have been one of either of those two people. Tara Sanuba is one that's really popular. And then one of the women they think might have been Rokin's wife.
Okay.
And then they showed a youngling
Right.
also. And the youngling uh, in the credits has the same name as a youngling from the first episode.
Okay.
So thereby also going back to Riva
So one of the kids that was maybe with Reva
with
when she. All
Riva.
right.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
so
So maybe that's one
now
of her buddies that's down
yeah.
there, and then part of like that, constant hatred that fuels the
hmm
dark side is that they have to go and see some of their dead
They're
loved
dead
ones.
friends
Yeah.
and loved ones. Yeah. So
That's
um
gnarly, dude.
yeah. And
It's
and
dark for
also
Disney.
like her it's very dark for Disney, especially for her seeing like her 10-year-old friend,
Yeah.
you know,
Just there,
just
like
there.
in his terror, clearly
Yeah.
like his final terror.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah. So that's
So
messed up.
yeah, he sees all that and he's like, "Wow, I'm gonna invest." Oh, Leia's in trouble.
Oh, wait, I feel something. Leia's in trouble.
Yep. And then we get a pretty cool Jedi scene. Like clearly, like he's
Yeah.
getting his mojo
And
back.
what's the Taro? Is that her name? Taro, the girl who helped him out, the one who was the
Obata Sand from Game of Thrones. Yeah.
yes, yes, the girl from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, I need a distraction. So she immediately is like, I know
Guys,
things.
guys, I
Let's
got
go.
info. Come
I
here.
got
You
info.
got to know right now.
Right now.
It's
You need to know
really important that you come in
no,
here
this
now.
second, right now. It sounds like come upstairs right now. You need to see this. Look what the cat's doing.
Yeah. I made this for you. So clearly Rava was
yeah.
skeptical.
Yes. This was a great scene. She's
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you're lying for me or against me, but I'm gonna find out.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you. Yeah.
And then the lights go out and Obi-Wan
Then
does some
the cool
stuff.
lightsaber scene. And it was funny. He strikes down the first guy and then turns his lightsaber off, and the other guy's just barely
escape.
lit by the red light. There's no way out. You can't escape. And then it's like, I'm not planning on escaping.
No.
I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, this is not. I'm trying to run from you, brother.
I'm not running from you. I'm running towards you.
You're running from me.
Yeah.
And so it's
and
like,
this was this the first time or no? We saw his lightsaber before.
but it was different. Yeah, well, he was using it
we
on his
saw-
way in to deflect bolts and stuff too. But again, every stroke seems more
right
practiced and sure. Like, and I think they're leaning into that. Like, it's not a coincidence. Like, that's a very clear purpose that he's gaining his mojo back.
And it's also building up for
It's like in Austin Powers. Remember when they steal his mojo?
Yes. Yeah. And then he parks the steamroller, or wasn't steamroller. Stop. Remember when he tries to, and he gets the car stuck completely sideways.
I've been there, man. They still hold up those movies.
Oh my God, Austin Powers is great. We have to start a new podcast just for
Austin Powers
podcast. Yeah, we
we get more listeners than this one, I think.
I think we would.
So we get our little fight.
So and then he saves Leia, and he's like,
Leia.
"Follow me," and then like I love the hallway that they're in they're under the shark tank,
right?
And it's like he's once again, we talked about it earlier, he's deflecting the shots better and better and better. He's able to close the door so those guys can't get in. And then they open it up a little bit, and when they what was the black trooper?
The Purge Troopers.
Purge troopers.
Yeah, then that's another Fallen Order thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but his gun, it sounded different. It sounded like a ping pong gun. It was like ping
Oh,
ping
yeah?
when he was shooting through the door. It sounded really funny to me. It made me laugh.
Interesting.
I was like, "Oh, that's a weird sound effect to
All right.
use." So yeah, so he's trying to shoot through the door, and he's like, psh, psh, he's like, I can deflect this with one hand now, and he's just like, boom, boom, boom,
We
whatever.
got this up here.
Yeah, I'm holding it here. I'm doing this, and then our Game of Thrones friend comes and saves Leia. Now I was a little confused, other than because it adds more drama. Leia's out. Game of Thrones friend is out. He was still holding it.
Can't you just walk backwards while you hold it?
Yeah, or even
just
let go and run.
that's what he did.
But he did it
eventually.
he held it way longer than I felt he needed to.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why he was holding it for so long, but
Yeah.
he held it for a
And
little.
but I feel like during that holding time, he could have been walking backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely could, even baby steps,
Yeah.
like getting a little further back, so that
Yeah.
way when you let it go and the purge of water comes through, you're further away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would have done, but then again, I can't use the force, so who knows?
That's a real bummer, isn't it?
It is a bummer.
I've been mad about that my whole life.
I mean, I try every time I walk
Yeah.
into a grocery store.
Yeah.
I feel like I can use the force.
Dude, every time I need the remote and it's not near me, I try.
I try. I'm
And I
like
think
Kevin
one
Smith in
day-
Mallrats.
One day it's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
I'm like,
It hasn't happened yet. Well, I'm like 34 years old, and every time I do it, I'm like, I almost don't. And I'm like, you're 34, and then I'm like, but what if that one time?
What if I finally figure it out?
Yeah.
What if all the metachlorians finally come together for me and I can
one day?
One
I'll be
day.
like 76 years old.
Yeah.
So they're in it. The water goes. They run away. Hooray! Hooray! Under the trench coat.
Under the trench coat, under the bad trench coat.
Let's walk like this.
We're gonna walk like nothing. There's nothing to see here. This guy with his weird growth.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
And it wouldn't be a Star Wars anything unless they got themselves out of an impossible situation.
Right.
So they catch him.
But seventh sister, 28th sister wasn't in that tunnel, which wasn't interesting. Those doors closed really fast behind him, by the way.
They did. That's
because
true.
not one drip of water was able to come through.
Well, it did eventually start dripping through.
Yes.
But-
Okay. Eventually it did. Closed it. No water. Floating stormtroopers
in the background.
Floating
Stormtrooper suit.
stormtroopers. Yes.
But the big impossible situation is they're in the hangar, and then all of a sudden there's 1,000 stormtroopers and purge troopers and an inquisitor going, "Hey, we're gonna kill you right now.
We're gonna kill you now."
And then, of course, all of a sudden,
here it comes.
I'm thinking, all right, either
I'm thinking
Big
Wolf,
Jedi-
Lone Wolf McQueen, is
yep.
coming to save the day.
That's
also,
literally what I thought, but
Yeah.
it was those speeders.
The
So I was like, all right,
T-47s.
something had to save him here, clearly.
Yeah.
Um,
And it was funny in Empire Strikes Back. Those speeders held two people. That was it. One person facing forwards, one person
yeah,
facing
there's
backwards.
suddenly 4 in here.
They
a
could
driver
they
and
could
3
jam.
passengers.
Yeah, like it's close quarters back there.
It's Obi-Wan, and then it's the lady here, and then it's Leia in her. They had to
in her
push the
lap.
car the seat
Yeah.
all the way back.
Yeah, and they loaded pretty quickly. Like
Yeah.
I've tried to like jump in my friend's car while it's moving, and that's just one person trying to dive through a window.
yeah.
You're trying to stack 3 people into one seat.
And the great thing about like the people in either side is because they had to be all the way back. The driver had to be like crunched like this
She's
the
all
whole
crunched up.
ride, all the way up, and she's pissed because her buddy just died.
Her
So
buddy
she's like
just- yeah.
crying. She's
So then, and then Wade,
very sad.
Wade for some reason decides to stick around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep missing all of my shots as I try and shoot Sister 87.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna
Pew
stand.
pew, and I'm just gonna stand. And then instead of just turning like everybody else did, I'm gonna fly further into the hangar to do a U-turn,
It'll
hook
look way
around.
cooler.
Yeah,
All
and
that
then
flash.
let everybody know that I'm here, and give Sister plenty of time to launch the jet
You
fuel.
knew they couldn't all get out of there. Like you
No.
knew that someone had to go. I thought it was gonna be Obara Sand from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
But I'm
Yeah.
betting she doesn't make it out of the series.
No, I
she
don't think
dies
she's
before
going to
that.
make it out of the series also.
No.
But so then it's like, so now you have the moral dilemma of Wade died. Now, I was looking to see who Wade and I forget what the other girl's name was.
Right.
But I was like, oh, what else were they in? They
Not
weren't
much.
in anything
Yeah.
else. They were just designed for this. So
Yep.
it's like, okay. So now Wade dies, saving the old man and a child. Is it worth it for you? That's what Reva said
Yeah.
to her. Um, so it's like, okay, we now know how important Obi-Wan and Leia are
Right.
because we sacrificed Wade to get them out. Um, I would have liked it a little bit, although we never. I mean, we saw an explosion. Did Wade die?
I don't think he's important enough for that to not have counted.
Okay,
If he were like an important character, that would be like, oh, maybe because like
you're right.
it hit him and there was an
It was like
explosion and we saw
Mace
him hit the water.
Windu. Then,
But like this is like a
yeah,
random nobody. So it's like he died, and he was clearly only there to die so
to
that he
die.
could
Yeah,
inspire others.
yeah.
Unfortunately,
Like Luke
but
Skywalker falling down a bottomless pit catches the UHF antenna at the
yeah.
very end. Wade would have missed it and just kept falling
Yeah.
into oblivion.
And then his brother would have avenged him,
Right.
and that's why he died.
And that's why he died. Yes. So, yep. So Wade's gone. Rest in peace, Wade. I was actually thinking at the end of this episode, did you watch The Walking Dead at all?
Not really.
Okay.
Pagan did.
So after
I don't like
Walking
scary
Dead,
things.
they had The Talking Dead.
Yes, I knew that.
And in The Talking Dead, they always have rest in peace moment going
When
into a
the people who
commercial
died.
for all the people who died. I wanted to do a rest in peace for the 37 stormtroopers. I was like, I'm watching it and I'm going, it'll be funny if we gave all of the dead stormtroopers
Names.
TK 127, FN 4363,
Love it.
and Wade.
Wade. Yep. R.I.P.
Because
Pour one out for one's homies.
so yeah.
So he gets away. Darth Vader gets very upset.
Oh, Darth Vader comes in. He's angry. He's
Yeah.
marching, not like normal Darth Vader march, like I'm Darth Vader. This is angry Darth Vader. I'm marching at double speed march.
Yeah, like as fast as
Mhm.
bad guys ever go.
Yes.
Because bad guys don't run.
Bad guys don't need to run.
And so he lifts her up and he starts squeezing her entire body, and he's like, "I'm done with you."
Let me down.
Yeah, and she's like, "No, I totally meant to let them go. There's a tracker."
So that was great that she had so little faith in
Himself.
in her own self and in her base and all that stuff, that when she was meeting with Leia and she sucked that droid out to put a tracker in the droid while she was talking to Leia,
Yep.
because she knew she must have seen another Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
She knew that Leia was going to get out.
Yep.
That she was like, okay, I know you're going to escape, so
Yeah.
I'm going to make
I've
sure.
seen this before, man.
I've seen this.
I saw
I've seen
episode 2.
I saw
I know
this
Padme
episode.
and Anakin got away. He told me the whole story.
He told me the whole story when he was angry at me.
Yeah.
So she was like, "No, I don't care. You can escape. That's fine.
Just take your little
droid with you."
See,
yeah.
when they didn't kill my thought was she's going to destroy that thing, or she's going to threaten to destroy that
I
thing.
thought she would. Yeah, just like
Yeah.
crushed it.
When she
So,
didn't, I was like, well, that's interesting. So that's why.
Yeah.
So that she had her own plans for
Yeah.
that. But Vader's like, all right, you're oddly Vader like flipped a switch. He's like, oh,
Oh, cool.
cool.
All
Thanks,
right,
dude.
I'll let
Let's
you
do
live.
it.
Yeah, I mean, he choked out a general, just because he was in the wrong spot in the hallway in like Empire Strikes Back. Like I love that. Was it an SNL skit? It was an SNL skit with when they're like, it was actually with not with Darth Vader,
Kylo.
but with Kylo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
when
they act like they're
they
dying
act like
and
they're
they,
dead.
Yeah, they give him like a mustache or something.
They're
A
like
new identity.
They're like, it's all the same people. We just put different costumes
Yep.
on. Yeah. So I mean, Darth Vader has choked out worse people for less, or
Better
higher
people,
better
for worse
people for
things.
worse things, for less things. So yeah. So the fact that he let her live was shocking. And so obviously now we know. And then you see little what's the canary's name? Lola. Little Lola. Her lights turned back on, but now instead of being blue,
Red.
they're red. 'Cause she's evil.
The only other droid whose like eye turned red was when like 3PO had the Sith stuff in him.
He did.
It's interesting.
He did. His eyes turned red then. And the secret droids, their eyeballs were all
That's
red
true.
in the secret droids. So red
But
is
their eyes have always been red.
yes. But like to change from blue to red,
Yeah,
I
it
guess
means it's
C3PO is
bad
yeah,
things.
that's a bad thing. Yeah.
So, and that's how we leave it, right?
Mhm.
Like,
so maybe little Lola will just start shooting everybody.
Wouldn't that be rad?
That would be rad.
Like she just like Everyone's sleeping.
Every-
It's
pew
just
pew
boom.
pew
And
pew.
then
You're like,
bum,
what?
ba-dum, 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 credits.
And that's it. You thought this episode was
Kenobi.
short. Kenobi.
So yeah, another good episode. I think that again, it's more transitionary, but there was a lot of talk about Fortress Inquisitorius being maybe where the finale took place.
Right.
So like the fact that there's still two more things, I really don't know what's next.
Yeah. So we know they're
I'm sure we're gonna see another fight with Anakin.
right. Yes. And now it's going to be better because now Obi-Wan
He's becoming him.
is becoming himself
We're gonna
again.
see him talk to Qui-Gon, I think.
Right. Yes, skipped over that for the past 2 episodes of him trying to talk to Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
We totally missed out on that. It was funny. My son watched this episode, and I said, "Well, what do you think?" And he goes, "My only critique is it looks too real."
Yeah.
He goes, "I'm used to Star Wars movies not looking this clean and crisp because it looks like when they're in the hangar, it looks so real. It looks like somebody's just hanging out with like their cell phone, like recording it."
Yeah.
He's like, it was funny to me that was his impression of
Huh.
it, was that it looks too authentic,
Interesting.
too real. Yeah.
He's used
So
to the CGI looking a little less
yeah,
authentic.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, so I mean, we're gonna go to Alderaan.
Yeah.
We
We'll
got to
probably get
return
back to
Leia.
Tatooine.
Yeah, then we got to get back to Tatooine. Now, where the big Darth Vader Obi-Wan fight will take place, who knows? But we definitely have to have.
I'm betting on Vader's ship.
Okay.
Like they mentioned Vader's ship
Yes.
this episode.
Yes.
So like I'm wondering if it's the Super Star Destroyer from episode 2 or episode 5 and 6 because that was Vader's flagship, wasn't it?
Yes. And what was it called? The Devastator?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool if we got to see that.
Because I feel like we did see in the previews another scene of Obi-Wan like being captured. And
maybe.
like he definitely looks a little bit different than he did when we've seen him so far.
Right.
So there's definitely got to be one more good battle with him and Darth Vader. But then the problem is Darth Vader is so good now,
Right.
and so strong and powerful. It's understandable when we see Obi-Wan in episode 4 that his lightsaber skills aren't as good because he's old.
Right.
But Darth Vader is 90% robot.
Right.
So even if he
Yeah.
gets old, he should still.
But I don't know that they're ever gonna. I don't think they're gonna address the fact that lightsaber battle sucked.
Okay.
I think they're just gonna say that that's their lightsaber battle and
Yeah,
that's how it was. But
I-
I think it's just like that's the product of the times. It
Yeah.
sucked, but like
I tried to explain it to my son. Like, they put all their money into the special effects in 1977, and they didn't even think about hiring like good like
fencing
trainers or like sword
trainers
trainers or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So it was just like, all right, you guys go out there and
whack at each
whack
other.
at each other. Okay.
Do a spin. That's
yeah.
a cool trick.
Oh yeah, spin, especially
Yeah.
with the cape. It'll look really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think we got some cool stuff headed our way. So you got to make sure next Wednesday you check us out.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll get to you on Wednesday, but at the latest, usually we get to you by Thursday.
Yes.
2 more episodes of this left, and then the next thing we have is Andor in a couple months, right?
Andor in a couple months. Yeah.
Make sure you check us out on all the podcast things, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as well. Our banthamilkpodcast.com is our website. And I think that's all we have for
I
today.
think that's all we have. I think that's it. And it's still, even with a short episode, we still want to push in an hour.
It's how it goes here.
It's how we do.
Right?
That's why we're the banter.
We banter.
But you know what? We're not as bad as Sacred Jedi, and not Sacred Jedi, as Supreme Resort.
Yeah.
They did a thing about Pirates of the Caribbean, and part 1 was 2.5 hours long.
Man.
They're doing a second part, so they probably talked for about 5 hours just about the ride.
Yeah.
So it's
right.
pretty entertaining. So check it out.
Yeah,
They
check
go
'em out
much
there.
longer than us.